How should you rank these four? Choosing a city, a university, a professor, or a major? Choosing a professor is most important. If your goal is to pursue a PhD in the US, then the professor is the most crucial factor. It doesn't matter which corner of the US you're in. Even if you're in Hawaii, the University of Hawaii is actually really impressive. If your professor is influential, their network will be extensive. With just one phone call, they can recommend you, and you can easily land that job offer. This is an eternal truth. In the US, connections are the most important thing. Secondly, if you're going for a master's degree, it depends on your major and your abilities. If you can get into a top-tier school, for example, if you're studying political science or social science, you could go to the University of Chicago or Columbia University. If you're studying education, then you could go to Teachers College at Columbia University. Top schools never lose their value. No matter where you go, their degrees are always recognized. But if you can only get into an average school and your abilities are also just average, if your resume doesn't leave a strong impression, then at this point, choosing the right city becomes the most important thing. Why is that? If you plan to look for a job in the US, the benefits and perks are really good. For example, if a company is based in New York and you went to college in Texas, and you send in your resume, what happens if they want to interview you? They'll have to cover your airfare and accommodation to bring you over. But if there are candidates in New York State already, they don't have to spend that money. HR can save $1,000. So this really comes down to the geographic location of the city. Some people might ask, can I pay for it myself? Actually, that's not negotiable. This is just an unspoken rule. Choosing your major is probably the most important factor for finding a job. If your major doesn't match the job market, or if you pick a field that's hard to find work in, like history or archaeology, you're guaranteed to be unemployed. So choosing the right major is top priority. And if you're pursuing a PhD, choosing the right professor is key. On the other hand, if you're not going for a PhD and are just doing a master's, then the city matters, and after that, the school. This is assuming you want to stay in the US. If you plan to return to China, then the school's ranking is the most important thing. Everything else can be ignored.